when I found out I was pregnant with my fourth child, everybody assumed I was going to have a girl. And I remember in a time of prayer, I said, God, I think it's a big mistake to give me a daughter because I will mess her up. I mean, I cannot do girl. I can do boy. I cannot do girl. And so, God, I really think another son. I know I'm being son greedy here, but I think it would be a good idea. And so, but I was afraid because I had not connected well with my mom. And my mom hurt me because her mother hurt her. And I thought, this is going to be one more level of this pattern. And so I remember I was praying and I was like, God, please. And you know when you get in that time of prayer where all of a sudden you're just in his presence and he'll show you something. And so what I saw in that moment was I saw this beautiful field of flowers. And I thought, I need to run. I need to run through this field. I began to run, and I saw in the distance a tower. And the tower was wrapped with arrow slits. So they were like those windows that went all around. And I thought, I need to climb that tower. And I climbed the tower. And when I got to the top of the tower, there was a treasure chest. And I remember thinking to myself, this is either going to have weapons or it's going to have treasure. And I went to open it. And when I opened it up, it wasn't weapons and it wasn't treasures. It was photos of me when I was a little girl. And all of the photos had been lost in a flood when my parents' basement flooded as a little girl. And I began to pick up these photos one by one. And I saw me as a toothless girl, you know, smiling. I saw my dad and my mom happy together. And as I was holding one of the photos, I heard a voice behind me say, I always thought you were funny. And I was like, I turned, and I've had such an overwhelming sense of the presence of God. And the fact that he would pick that sentence was so amazing because I was called a smart aleck all the time growing up. My parents had so much tension in the house, and I would come home from school and I would try to dismantle it with humor. And they would, you know, they would not understand. They were living a nightmare. And so they would say all these horrible things. And it was like Jesus knew, I know exactly how to open up your heart and bring healing to that. And I'm going to tell you that I thought you were funny. And it was just this beautiful moment. So God is invincible when it comes to intimacy. He will look at things. And we have a generation that is so broken and so longing for intimacy that they're trying to change everything to try to find wholeness. And God will actually come into our lives and hover in the Holy Spirit and begin to call forth things that separate light from darkness so that he can speak life to us.